Hi, Jim Ziegler, the Alpha Dog. As an executive manager, what do I expect from my team? My concepts include the premise that management is every manager's job description. Every manager in my dealership is a specialist with a specific area of responsibility. F&I managers specialize in finance. Used car managers specialize in pre-owned. BDC directors and managers specialize in business development. Everybody on my management team has a specialty. But anytime something needs to be handled, it is your responsibility. One of my mentors, Jackie B. Cooper, said to me, and by the way, Jackie B. Cooper was the greatest sales trainer in the history of the car business. Jackie B. Cooper said to me, if it is to be, it's up to me. And I take that to heart. F&I managers, you are only in your offices when you're doing finance duties. In my world, managers are like sharks that never stop swimming. You're constantly in motion. You have a quality I call hyper awareness. Constant motion, never desk bound. Hyper awareness is the ability to be aware of every situation in the dealership in real time as that situation is happening. I know the activities of my salespersons. I know what's happening in my CRM. I know what appointments are coming in. I am totally wide peripheral aware of everything that is happening in my dealership. So in other words, the GSM, you are checking with the BDC manager, what's working, what's in the funnel, what appointments are scheduled. You see, because if you're not doing something right now, you're looking for something that needs to be done. Managers, maybe you need to review a salesperson one-on-one with some coaching. Maybe we need to check with the IT and SEM management. What's working? What's not? Maybe we need to evaluate the vendors. What's real ROI and what's smokescreen? In the CRM, what appointments do we personally need to call and verify? What dead deals do we need to revive? And by the way, the CRM is the heartbeat of the dealership. Marry your CRM. The CRM is the brain of the dealership. Rely on it and don't let anybody be outside of using the CRM. In my world, we're going to have daily management meetings every single day. Used to call these save a deal meetings, but today that goes far beyond save a deal. Management meetings with all departments reporting up-to-date activities, and we're going to assign specific managers to handle specific situations. And I'm going to give managers, and here's something, a timetable to report back to me on when that task I assigned you is completed. You see, I've got several Zieglerisms, and one of them is, in the car business, we don't have a knowing problem, we have a doing problem. People know what you're supposed to do, but we don't do it. We don't get around to it. And we don't have a what problem, we have a when problem. People say, well, Mr. Ziegler, I'm going to do that. And I look at them and say, when? Let's schedule that. Let's schedule that task. And I want you to report back to me when you got it completed. When can I expect a report back on that? I'm putting it in my CRM that you are going to report back to me that that task is completed on such and such a time and date. We don't have a what problem. We have a when problem. Everybody understand that. Everybody knows what to do. It's when. We don't have a knowing problem. We don't need more training. We just need to do what we've been trained to do. In my world, all managers have equal authority with a sales manager. I have department heads and managers. I have sales managers, I have BDC managers, I have F&I managers, I have used car managers, new car managers. I have managers. And then I have department heads or directors. The GSM is the director of the sales department, the manager of the sales department. The sales managers come under that person's realm. Only a GSM or GM can override, or the dealer can override a manager's decision. If you are a top manager, never override a manager's decision in front of other employees. I might go to a manager and say, "What in the hell are you thinking?" Now, I want you to go back to that employee and reverse your decision, but act like it was your own idea. Don't tell them I told you to do it. Now, I might manage that way, but I'm never going to demean or humiliate my manager in front of other employees. You see, when I'm in a dealership, I assume that I am the GM or the GSM. I don't even work with a dealer unless they give me some authority. I train from a manager's mindset. I am a manager. And I tell my managers that being a manager is a title of dignity, authority, and respect. Being a manager is something I earned. Dignity, authority, respect. Dignity, authority, respect. Sink in. I am in charge of the sales process. Now, I show great respect for veteran salespeople. You've earned respect. Experienced salespeople, I even create something in dealerships called the executive team. And what I mean by that is I have certain salespeople on my sales force that have privileges that other salespeople do not have. They can even assist with TOs or with other salespeople. Now, the executive team is earned. I have a set parameters. There are set parameters that you can earn the right to be a member of the executive team. And non-performance will get you off of the executive team. It's not something that you automatically earn because you've been here 10 years. You've got to continually perform at the executive level to remain on the executive team. And the executive team responsibilities are in writing in whatever dealership that I install an executive team. So an executive team, an experienced salesperson, I'm going to listen to you. Mr. Ziegler, I think we ought to work the deal this way. I think we ought to do this way. And I will listen to that. But when the decision is made, I will make it. And that is what we will do. Your input as a top executive salesperson, or even as a salesperson, your input is very valuable to me. But understand, when the decision is made, I will make the decision, sometimes based on your input. Sometimes I'll say, no, we're not going to do it that way. And that is what we will do, whatever decision I make. I am in charge of the sales process. I am a manager. I will not be disrespected. My job is to cause my sales professionals and my managers to be a success. My number one priority is to cause you to be a success because you work for this dealership. My job is to elevate you, to advance you, to promote you, to cause you to learn your profession as surely as if you were studying for a master's degree in any other profession. I want you to become a student of our business. And our business is rapidly changing, as is all knowledge. I want you to be a success. My job as a manager is to cause you, my sales professionals and my managers, to have a better life for yourself and for your family, for your significant people in your lives, for your children, your families. My job is to cause you to take home good money, and beyond that, to be a success and to have a better quality of life with the money that you make. better education for your children, better retirement into your older age. My job is to cause you to have a better life because you work here. Regardless of production, I terminate bad attitudes. I terminate disrespect. You will not disrespect me. You will not disrespect my managers. You will not say derogatory things about this dealership or your dealer. I terminate bad attitudes. I terminate disrespect. No matter how many units you sell, no matter how long you've been here, if you have a bad attitude or disrespect, you cannot stay here. As a manager, liking me is 100% completely optional. You don't have to like me. I don't even require that you like me. But respecting me is part of your job description. As a manager, I never worried about being popular. I set records, and my sales teams would follow me anywhere. My sales and management team, because I was effective, I caused them to have a great life because they worked within a process. You see, I build sales teams and management teams as if I were training SEAL Team 7. We have discipline. We implement and train processes that every team member knows their responsibility. No excuses. We will always win. Personally, I have very limited knowledge or experience, no experience in fixed operations. I am a variable operations expert. I think I'm the best. And I stay within the boundaries of what I do best. I defer respect to the experts in fixed operations. And I take advice from those who are doing it and have done it well. I don't pretend to know fixed operations. I'm not that guy. So I seek out expertise from people that have it. That is why through the years, I've got a reputation for growing dealerships to the big numbers. And so should you. Always determine what a dealership is capable of being and go for it. I know many superstar managers in our industries, 500, 600, 1,000 units or more a month. And I've consulted many of those dealerships and taken them there. 1,000 units a month. You don't even know what that's like unless you've been in a store doing that. But you know, all the superstar managers in our industry are living proof that management is still needed for the most successful dealerships that post the highest numbers with customer-friendly processes. You don't need to lie, cheat, sneak, deceive, misrepresent, or trick the customers into making a profit. Everything we do can be done with integrity and honor. You don't need to be a criminal to sell cars. And if you are a criminal, I personally will persecute you and run you out of my business. I've done it before. You see, people that don't do the processes, people that don't manage to win, they're just average. And I've said it many times, here it comes. Average is the exact point where sucks starts. Average is where sucks starts. I embrace new technologies. I've rolled with the tide. 46 years in the industry. I've seen the paradigm shift many, many times. I've adapted. I've rolled with it. I've learned and innovated new things. I've learned new things, as have many of you. But listen to me right now. If a dealership lays down, if your dealership lays down and you allow technology to completely run your dealership, I suppose that's going to be possible someday, but not now. A very small percentage of consumers today will transact and buy a car completely online. The numbers are dismal. They're not filling out all the paperwork. They're not pulling all the levers. They're not filling out the forms. They're not doing what we're calling digital retailing. Some people will. There's a Carvana out there for somebody. But you know what? Those technologies will catch on eventually. It isn't here completely, and it's not really a major factor right now, but it will be. But those dealers that lay down and abandon managing your dealership with people, human beings in the process, those dealers that lay down and abandon managing your dealerships, if you totally surrender to technology and expect technology to sell the cars without people, you will indeed be average. But those that embrace new things, those of us that are putting the human factor back into the process, who are employing video conferencing with customers, the technologies are your friend or they're your enemy. Take your choice. We will become the lead sled dogs. You ever see a bunch of huskies in a movie up in Alaska somewhere, or Canada? There's only one lead sled dog out front. There's 8 or 9 other ones behind them. 8 sled dogs and one out front. The one out front, the lead sled dog, is the leader. That is called the alpha dog. Maybe that's where I got alpha dog. The lead dog, the leader of the pack. And notice I spelled dog, D-A-W-G, after my beloved Georgia Bulldogs. Yes, I live in Georgia. I live in Braselton, Georgia, less than 30 miles away from Athens, Georgia, the home of the University of Georgia, Athens, the home of the Bulldogs. And we spell dog the correct way, D-A-W-G. So yes, I am the alpha dog. And if you lay down and elect technology to run your company, you will not be the lead sled dog. You will simply be average. And when you are average, you are just the leader of the sucks. Just some more tips for management from the alpha dog.